Ended up living with Nika and her 2 sons. When I went there, it made me cry. Her son was locked in a pitch black room. They will go for days and days without feeding this child.
He was talking about your son.
Yes. I was lazy and didn't really realize what I was doing.
I want you to stand your ass out of my chair.
How do you think you can let these kids live in these kind of conditions? He can't talk. Your kids had ear infections so bad that it was dripping out of their ears. This kid has been electrocuted twice.
He sticks stuff in the light socket, but I've never seen him go electrocuted.
How come no sunshine for the little boy?
I don't know.
These kids were treated worse than animals.
He about ripped apart his crib to get out of it. Do you know how to be a mother?
Not really.
You are too worried about hitting the bars and hitting the men.
What's it gonna take for you to find him dead before you change?
When your son says, Mommy, I need you, do you need me to tell you, wrap your arms around him?
No.
Then pull your head out of... Listen to an email I recently received.
Dear Steve, my name is Chris and I've tossed around the idea of contacting your show for several months now. Here's the story. Around Christmas time, I took a trip to visit my mom. My mom had to stay with a friend and ended up living with Nika and her 2 sons. Steve, when I went there, it made me cry to see the conditions that this 3-year-old boy was living in. I found out that on a regular basis that her son was locked in an upstairs bedroom with all of the windows covered with blankets in a pitch black room for sometimes 15 hours at a time, only being let out long enough to eat some crackers or etc. and locked right back in the room. I went upstairs when I got there because I could hear screaming coming from that same room. I broke into the room to find the darkness that was really hard to see through. They had even removed the light bulb so that he couldn't accidentally turn the light on. They were keeping him in a crib, and he's 3, and being tall enough to jump out of it, but not quite. I walked up to the crib to find him acting like some kind of animal, trying to get out of a cage. Steve, when he saw me, he was pretty much willing to throw himself out of the crib and hit the floor to get to me. I went up and he was wearing a full pajama suit, and the entire thing was covered with urine. It was terrible, beyond terrible. There were weeks worth of ripped up diapers around his crib where he was ripping the diapers off himself and literally shredding them. Even his mattress was shredded where the boy had gone almost insane trying to get out. They even moved the crib because he ripped the entire door handle off trying to escape. I immediately got him out and I called the police. They came and were very upset and took a report. They told me to call Children's Services on Monday and file a report. Well, needless to say, I did, but nothing happened. I called again and again and again, and no one would do anything about it. Her son screams every time you change his diaper because of the horrid diaper rash from the many, many hours of not being changed. He can barely speak and is 3 years old. Steve, they've even left him alone many times and he's gotten a hold of metal objects and stuck them in electrical sockets. He's nearly killed himself twice, and once he was completely white and shaking and received absolutely no medical treatment. He is sick often and is not cared for. Steve, they will go for days and days without feeding this child. He is constantly being screamed at and never talked to. She, the mother, will abandon him for hours and just assume that somebody will take care of him. No one seems to care. The mother of these kids has no plans on changing her ways, it seems, and every time she is questioned, she lies through her teeth constantly, and people believe her because no one knows the horror these innocent children suffer on a day-to-day basis. It's eating me up inside because I feel like I've done all I can. I'm afraid for the lives and safety of these children. Please help, Steve. I just don't know where else to turn.
The mother that Chris is talking about in that clip is on my stage now. Nakia, he was talking about your son.
Yes.
What he is saying, is that true?
Somewhat, yes. I was lazy and didn't really realize what I was doing, but things has changed now. I mean, his dad's involved and I'm going through counseling and everything to straighten my life up.
Well, while you're telling us how you're straightening your life up, why don't you do it standing up? Stand up.
Why?
Why? Because if you can't make your child comfortable, why will you be comfortable on my stage?
I said I didn't realize what I was doing.
You might not have realized, but you're going to realize it now, and I want you to stand your ass out of my chair. So you didn't realize what you were doing?
No.
And how was that possible?
I bathed him, cleaned him, and I didn't clean
Filthy room?
I didn't clean his
Diapers
diapers.
piled up?
I didn't clean his diapers. I'm not gonna.
Didn't even change them?
Yes, I did. That's why those diapers.
What, once a day?
No, I changed them. That's why there's
How did you get this horrible diaper rash?
Because the diapers, the name brand, he wore. I kept
is that
full with.
why? Gotta have a certain brand name so to prevent
But
diaper
I didn't
rash.
have the money, so I bought.
And the covered windows?
That was my room at first, and that's the way I did it, just so I could sleep at night.
And this, like, you know, you can't clean up?
I cleaned it up every 2-3 days, but
That's a mess that was made in 2 or 3 days?
yeah,
Really?
yeah.
Why?
I don't know why he did. He don't do it now.
He don't do it now?
No, he don't.
Why? Because now somebody's showing him love? Somebody's really involved in his life?
No, I took him out.
Your son's 3 years old. He's ripping his own diapers off. How do you not know he's doing that?
I put the diaper on when he went to bed, and when I got by morning, they were all on the floor.
How many diapers do you think's torn up in there? Is that 1? Is
I
that
don't know.
2? Is that 3? Is that 4? Is that 5?
I don't know.
You leave your son in a dark room for more than 10 hours a day. You just lock him up in the room. 10 hours.
I didn't lock him in there.
Oh, you just shut the door. Kept him in the crib that he couldn't get out.
I got him
And
up
you have
in-
all the window. Why not at least give the kid some sunshine to look at? How come no sunshine for the little boy? Your little boy. Were you raised that way?
I don't remember.
You don't remember?
No. I
Before
heard
you had your son, did you live like this?
No.
Oh, you kept a nice clean house?
Yes.
And then what changed it all?
Just got lazy.
You just got lazy. So you had a baby and said, what the hell, I'm just going to get lazy now.
I just got to the point where I just got lazy, but I've straightened up since. I've really straightened up.
After what, 3 years?
This
3 damn years?
This happened. It wasn't even like this for 3 years.
I mean, here's the shocking thing. I'm getting briefed on this story backstage, and I'm reading Chris, who was on the tape, and I'm like, well, this is the father. This is the father getting mad at the mother. No, this is just some guy who says, oh my God, look what's happening to these kids. I got to do something.
These kids were treated worse than animals.
He about ripped apart his crib to get out of it.
This kid has been electrocuted twice.
He sticks stuff in the light socket, but I've never seen him got electrocuted.
What's it gonna take for you to find him dead before you change?
It's time. Here's a guy that doesn't even know you. He sees how filthy the conditions are, the way you're treating your son, and he's tormented. This Chris says your son acted like an animal when he walked in the room. He sees a human being. He's going crazy trying to get out of the crib. That he's willing to endanger himself and throw himself out of the crib trying to get to them. Does that bother you at all?
Yes, it does.
It does? How many hours a day was he in the crib?
Well, I went to bed late, so I normally didn't get him out of bed till noon. He stayed up and played and ate until around 4 o'clock for nap time. He was only in it for a half hour
And
to
then
an
back
hour.
into the chamber.
An hour for a nap, and then he's back up till bedtime. But now he gets up at 7, 8 o'clock in the morning. And
Yeah, but you know what? A lot of this damage is done. Your son can't even talk, right?
Yes, he's talking now. He's actually talking.
Says can barely talk due to lack of human contact.
He can talk now. He says a lot.
What'd you feed him?
Actual meals.
Actual meals. Saltine crackers?
No, those are his snacks, but I fed him.
You fed him. When? When you were sleeping, what was his breakfast
He
at
should
noon?
have got
You
3.
said he sat in the crib until noon. So what was his first meal of the day? Little baby boy gets his first meal at what, 12:30?
I was supposed to feed him 3 times, but I only fed him 2 times. And snacks in between because he got out of bed. But I did feed him.
Now, Chris's mother lives with you,
Yes, she does.
and she says nothing's changed.
Ever since I've had my second child, I've went downhill.
So there are other kids living like this too?
No, he never has.
Never has.
Never has once.
Wait, so one gets it good and the other one gets it really bad. Why is that?
I don't know.
You don't know?
No.
You're taking really good care of one child and not of the other, and you don't know? Why is that? What did this little boy do?
Nothing.
Why didn't you crawl your ass in that crib and sleep in there? If you got lazy, you won't take care of, and your son's not eating, and there's a dark room for 10 hours a day, why didn't you give him up if you're lazy?
Because I love him and I want
You love him?
Yes.
That's a funny way to show love. That's a funny way to show love. You love him?
Yes, I do.
When he was hungry, did you love him? When he was locked up in that room for 10 hours a day, did you love him?
I still love him.
You still love him. You know what? It's real easy to say, I love somebody. It's real easy to say it, and it's another to actually show it and do something about it. Before we bring Chris out, though, I want you to look me in the eye, and I want you to tell me, do you have any remorse at all, what you put your son through?
Yes, I do. I'm dead serious.
When you were downstairs with your other children or your friends or whoever, he ever yell out, Mom, Mom, come get me?
He just said, Mommy.
And did you go get him?
A couple times, yes, I did.
A couple times. A couple times. That's nice.
The only time he would call for Mommy is when I put him down for his nap. And
That's the only time.
He didn't want.
Not the 10 hours during he was in pitch darkness. Never called Mommy.
When I put him to bed, he always wanted to say Mommy.
You know you kept that son neglected. You know you let him in filth. You left him live in filth. You wouldn't even give the poor kid some daylight. And you're telling me that this little boy didn't call out and want somebody? He about ripped apart his crib to get out of it when he saw a human being. And the shameful thing is, if this man didn't come over to visit his mother, your son would still be living like this, which we've been told he still is. Let's meet that man who stepped in, who saw these terrible conditions. Here's the man that says, they're not my kids, but I got to do something. They're somebody's kids. I can't let this little boy live like this. Let's bring out that man, Chris.
These kids live in these kind of conditions.
I don't know more.
If I wouldn't have been there, these kids would still be living like this. These kids were treated worse than animals. The only house, in the only room in that entire house that I could even breathe in was the room that my mom was in. It was so terrible inside this house, and you know it. It was terrible. I couldn't breathe. I had to stand outside. It was that bad. When I saw that kid trying to climb over that crib to get to me, it broke my heart. When I heard the stories before I got there, it broke my heart. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. I couldn't believe that you didn't go to prison that same night. Your kids had ear. I told you when I was there that I was not going to leave, that I was not going to forget about this, and that when I heard about it again, that I was going to do something. And I've been calling and calling and calling.
I am changing.
You're a liar. You have not changed at all.
Yes, I have.
Before you left, your kids had ear infections so bad that it was dripping out of their ears.
No, they didn't.
They didn't? Trust me, they did. I can't believe that I have to bring you to a TV show to get you to finally wake up. You've got to wake up.
I am changing. I'm
And then you want to get pregnant again? That you want to have another kid. You can't handle the ones you have. You can't handle. He can't talk. He can't talk. What can he say? He can say like one word.
No.
I tried to read to him, and he could barely even understand language.
He knows now.
He can't understand. He's not. Is he potty trained?
Well,
He's working on 4 years old. He's dysfunctional. He's developmentally dysfunctional because of your constant abuse to this kid. What's it gonna take for you to find him dead before you do something? Before you change?
I am changing.
You haven't changed.
Yes, I
bull.
have.
What I want to know is it true that you want to have another child?
Eventually, when I get my life straightened. When I get my life straightened, eventually.
You don't know how to be a mother now.
I don't want a child right now.
Are you going to even get lazier?
No.
And is another child going to have to go through what this 3-year-old boy
This is
went through?
garbage. This is garbage.
Okay. Public service announcement time. Do not sleep with this woman. Why would you want another child? You don't care for the ones you have already.
I do.
Is it a welfare check?
No.
You don't.
It's money.
No, I don't have no money.
So what I want to know, you had this boy living in like this. What enjoyment did you get from that? What did you take away from it? I have a child. I play ball with my son. He wrestles with me. I read books to him. I love the kid. He makes me feel happy. What enjoyment? What enjoyment did you get from your son?
Nothing. I know.
There's no feeding.
But
There's no feeding.
yes.
No. There's no feeding.
There
The
is.
WIC checks, why do they expire? Why do they expire?
I don't
You
need that
Because
WIC.
you don't use them. Because he doesn't get fed.
Yes, he does. I don't need it. I'm not taking anything from government anymore.
Hold on a second. Do you work?
No, I'm in a
Oh,
process.
so you don't need the WIC checks.
I got food for my kids.
From who? From where?
My food stamps. I don't. I'm trying to get
And you want another child. You want another child.
I think
Eventually.
I think it's for the money. And the
No,
reason why,
I don't have no money.
Okay, if it's not for the money, then why, seeing as how you're on welfare and you can't claim them on your taxes, you made a deal with some guy to claim the children so you could get half of the money for them.
So I can go out and get my kids and stuff.
Yeah, right. You were ready to defraud the government for yourself. Every time that welfare check comes, there's a new cell phone. There's something new for yourself. He didn't have anything on his birthday. He had nothing. There was no toys. There was nothing.
Is that true? Did you get anything for your son for his birthday?
Yes, I got him a truck.
You got him a truck.
He was screamed at the whole day. He was screamed at the entire day.
Who was he screamed by? Why was she screaming at him?
Every reason. She'll get mad at him, and just because she'll get in a fight with she'll go down and abuse him.
No.
They will hit him directly in the head.
No, I don't.
Okay. They don't.
No.
They don't.
No.
Then I'm just a liar. And
Did you have a birthday cake for your son?
Yes, I did.
Party?
Yes,
there
I
was
had
nothing.
a cake.
There was absolutely.
I had a cake.
I was there.
Not on his birthday.
I saw it. I was there on his birthday. His birthday was through right after Christmas.
I had a cake for
I
him
was
because I
there.
baked it for him, and I should know.
Why would this guy lie? Does he have any motivation at all to lie about the situation? Is he looking for something?
I don't know.
I have nothing to gain from this in any way except some self-rest for myself. For my conscience. This kid has been electrocuted twice. He's been electrocuted twice, And one time he was white and shaking, and they gave him no doctor, no medical attention, just like the infection dripping out of his ears. When's he gonna die? When's somebody gonna do something?
It's not true.
He sticks stuff in a light socket, but I've never seen him go electrocuted. Never once.
When you put him to bed, he screamed bloody murder, and all you would do is say, "Shut up and go to sleep."
That kid is so far out of control.
Yeah,
It's
because he's been
crazy.
living like an animal.
Exactly.
My mom ended up living with Mika and her 2 sons. When I went there, it made me cry. Her son was locked in a pitch black room. They will go for days and days without feeding this child.
I was lazy and didn't really realize what I was doing.
How do you think you can let these kids live in these kind of conditions? He can't talk. Your kids had ear infections so bad that it was dripping out of their ears.
How come no sunshine for the little boy?
I don't know.
These kids were treated worse than animals.
He about ripped apart his crib to get out of it.
What's it gonna take for you to find him dead before you change?
I want to reiterate the things that you've done to your son. I want to read a list real quick. Left in a room for up to 20 hours at a time with no light, windows covered. Surrounded by shredded, dirty diapers. She doesn't feed him, only eats crackers, candy, and soda. She doesn't change him. He is 3 years old and barely potty trained. Has electrocuted himself twice. And can barely talk due to lack of human contact. And the reason is, I'm lazy. I'm lazy. But I'm not lazy enough where I'm not going to take a shower. I'm not lazy enough where I'm going to go out with my friends and have a good time or buy myself a new cell phone. I'm not lazy enough to do that. I'm just lazy enough to do that for my own children.
I couldn't shower the whole time I was there. I didn't shower. The shower was so disgusting that I wouldn't shower a dog in that tub. I wouldn't bathe the dog in the tub. It was disgusting.
Are you just stupid or evil? What is it? It's got to be one or the other. Either you're just a bad person who doesn't give a damn about her own children, or you're just really, really stupid.
Neither.
Or your kids, you just see dollar signs when you look at your kids.
I don't care about that.
Chris, your mother Jane lives with this woman, right? Let's bring her out.
Oh, wow. You look nice.
Hello, Jane.
Yeah, hi. You know, you're not telling the truth.
Yes, I am, Jane.
Slang.
I counted from the time that you put him in that bed at 3, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and you didn't get him out of that bed until 1, 2 o'clock the next day. Then what you would do, you would yell at him because he shredded his diaper. And then when you took him downstairs, he would grab whatever was on the table from the night before, or a flat can of soda, or a candy bar, or a bag of chips. You know that. Don't lie about it.
I'm not lying, Jane. I have nothing to lie about.
I know. You know, you're always the innocent one. And let's see. 2 weeks ago, maybe not even 2 weeks ago, I come out of my room and got into a dispute that you were having with 2 other people in that room when you said that you were feeding him 3 times a day while he was in that bed. And I got in your face and I said, I'll beg to differ. I was in that room. I lived in the room right next to. I know what time you put him to bed. I know what time you got him up. And then when you put him to bed, he screamed bloody murder. And he would cry, and all you would do is say, shut up and go to sleep. And down the stairs you went, and you didn't hear nothing more out of him. And then when I would tell you, Nika, I'd wake you up 6, 7 o'clock in the morning. That boy is crying his heart out. Oh, well, I didn't hear him. Okay, you could hear my husband snore in my bedroom, but you couldn't hear your own son crying out, Mommy, Mommy, and he's crying.
For 20 hours at a time.
And I come down and tell you,
20
Nika,
hours.
your son needs you. And then what was it, last week, on a Thursday, when you were trying to get ready to go out to the bar, you picked these kids up at the daycare, standing there on the porch crying, Mommy, Mommy, and he's crying really hard. He needs you. And I said, Nika, your son needs you. Well, I don't have time for that. I gotta go take my bath. I'm going out. And I told you, Nika, sit down, pick him up, and love him. Didn't I tell you that? But no, shut up, get away from me. And that was
Why
it.
did you do that?
And then you pick up your baby. A little bit later, you pick up your baby. You're loving, Mommy loves you, standing right there. Poor don't get his mommy's love.
Is there a reason why you don't love this child?
I do love him.
You keep saying it. I love him, I love him, I love him. But you're not giving him any love.
As your hip replacement.
Is there a reason why you don't love this child?
I do love him.
He's begging for she's saying, he's standing there, Mommy, 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 I want you. And you go off and take a shower so you can go out partying with your friends? If you love him, why don't you give him love?
I do love him.
You know, you keep saying it. I love him, I love him, I love him. But you're not giving him any love. What the hell? Who denies their own child? I don't have time for you. Get away from me. Is this woman lying?
No.
Is he lying?
I did not keep him in his bed like they said. I won't do that.
Oh no, you just put him in and then he can't get out.
You can see how his mattress is shredded. How does that happen in an hour? How does those weeks
When
of
he
diapers
goes to
happen
bed
in 2
at
hours?
night.
How does that happen when he goes to bed over 5 hours or 7 hours? I've raised a kid. I know they don't do that. It's hard to tear apart one of those diapers on your own. Have you ever tried to tear the material that those are made out of? You have to go insane to do that. Look at the mattress material. You'd have to go insane to be able to tear this out. This is a 3-year-old.
If they're thoroughly soaked with urine, I guess it makes it easier.
It's a 3-year-old.
Why are your two children treated so differently?
I don't know. They're not like that no more.
They're not. Okay, Jane, have things gotten better? She says she's taken all the steps necessary to change things.
She is only saying a lot of this to keep herself out of jail.
No. I am changing my life 'cause I want my kids to have a good life.
All right. Children need their mommy. I raised my son all by myself. All by myself. I didn't abuse him. I didn't neglect him and not feed
I told
him.
you the reason why I came.
I didn't
so
keep him
could
in
change
bed for
my life.
22 hours a day. He got love. He was read to. He was talked to. But you don't do none of that.
You came here to change your life?
Yes. I don't like living at the house. I want to live on my own and raise my kids on my own like I was. When I was on my own, I was never like
Here's
this.
the problem, though. If you live on your own, who's gonna protect your children?
I was never like this when I lived on my own.
And as far as getting
I have to
counseling,
say, of all the people that have graced my stage, you're one of the people that disgust me the most. Because you don't have one good reason, not one, why you neglect your child. Why you let your child suffer in darkness. Why you let your child go hungry. Why you let your child live in filth. And I don't like you. But in the interest of helping your son, we need to get to the bottom of this. So Chris and Jane, I want to thank you so much. I want to thank you for stepping in and trying to help these children. You should be applauded. Thank you. Thanks for coming on. I'm going to ask you to leave the stage because I want to bring somebody else out. Thank you for coming on the show. You came here. I don't know why you came here. But hopefully, maybe we can do something. Maybe we could do something to get your mind right so you will feed your son, clean him. When he says, Mommy, I need you, you'll put your arms around him, sit down with him, and talk to him. No, you don't do it now. You don't do it now. She just talked about a story that just happened. You went out. If you don't start admitting what you're doing, how am I going to help you? You neglected your son. It doesn't sound like you made any changes. But you know what? There's another person here that might have something to say on this matter. You traveled here with her. Mm-hmm. She's your friend, yeah. Courtney. Let's bring her out.
I know. You know what they're saying is the truth. You know you have not been there like you should have been for
Mother, I know.
We go out all the time. You know that.
I've been out
You have left. But remember when we stayed at one of my family members' house?
I know.
What'd he tell you? You are a mother.
I know what he told me.
And you're her
friend. I'm like her sister, but it's the truth. I mean, it is what it is.
Everything with Chris?
Yes, it is.
Jane?
Yes.
This is all true?
Yes, it is.
And she goes out with you a lot?
Yes.
And what do you guys do when you go out?
We go to the store.
And you drink?
No. No, I'm not enough drink.
Does she ever eat?
No, we dance in the club and then we hang out with people afterwards.
And she doesn't spend time with her son?
No, hardly ever. And Nika, you know it's the truth.
I do spend time with him.
No, you do not.
But right now,
Okay, do you think I would stand here and lie? I'm like your sister.
I know you are.
You need to own up what you're doing. If you want help, the only reason they're going to help you is if you own up to what you're doing.
I know.
When your son says, Mommy, I need you, do you need me to tell you, wrap your arms around him?
No.
Then pull your head out of... There's two ways we could go about this. You could start admitting what you're doing and take responsibility, and we can get you help. Or we'll just step in, get involved, and make sure that your son gets taken away and gets taken care of. So how you want to handle this?
I want to be a mother to him.
You want to be a mother?
Yes.
Then you stop denying what you're doing. You want help?
Yes, I do.
Take responsibility then.
That's why I came, because I want help.
But you're not admitting none of it, Nika. I don't think you're ready to be a mother.
Yes, I am.
No. Nika, you are too involved in what you're doing, and you know that as well as I do. You are too worried about hitting the bars and hitting the men. You know that, and I know that. And I'm not doing it to hurt you. You know that. It is what it is. Own up to what you're doing. You have to. Or you need to put him out, like I told you. You can't handle him. That kid is so far out of control.
Yeah, because he's been living like an animal.
Exactly. Nika, he barely even talks. You know that.
He talks now more than when he used to, yes.
He talks. Okay, we'll get to her. He talks. But when he talks, he stutters, and it takes him 10 minutes just to get a word out.
Is going out to the bars more important than taking care of your son?
No.
Then why do you do it?
Nika, we fight every Thursday with
I know.
We act like he's asleep so we can hurry up and run out the door to go to bars.
I know.
It's a fair question. Why don't you say, no, I'm not going out with you. You need to take care of your son.
You're right. I am in the wrong. But you know what? She has a mind of her own as well. She has that choice to say,
it's just a fair question to ask. I'm not pinning this on you. It's not your son. You have no reason or right to be doing this to your son.
I know.
You keep saying, I know, but you keep doing it. I know. You keep saying, I love him, but you show no love. It's easy to say these things. Again, it's easy to say words. I'm asking you, what are you willing to do about it?
Be a mother to him.
Be a mother. Do you know how to be a mother?
Not really.
Not really. Maybe we don't know how to become parents when we first have children. It's true. We all have to learn along the way. But don't we have instincts? Motherly instincts? Fatherly instincts?
Yeah.
We know the child's got to eat. We know the child's got to be clean. We know we have to hold our children and give them love. But you're not doing any of it. Do I got to teach you? Do you need to go to a class when your son says, Mommy, I need you? Do you really need a class? Do you need me to tell you? Wrap your arms around them?
No.
Then pull your head out of your... Thank you for being on the show, Courtney. Thank you for coming out and telling the truth. You can make mistakes. Why don't you have a seat? Have a seat. You can be honest. I'm not gonna yell at you for the decision that you make. I'm not gonna get mad. Because right now, my main concern is that 3-year-old boy.
I know. He's got his dad involved now, and he's helping me with things.
Okay.
He takes him on the weekends and everything.
So I want to know is, do you really want to be a mother?
Yes, I do.
Do you really want to be a mother in his
Yes,
life?
deep down, yes.
Can you stop with all the nonsense? Can you stop going out, spend time with your kids?
Yes, I could.
Can you change his diaper about 8 times a day if necessary?
Oh, I've changed him. He's getting potty broke. We're in the process now. We're doing it.
All right. So we're going to do everything we can to help you. But don't think you're going to walk off the stage and I'm going to forget about you.
Oh, no.
This is a picture of your son?
Mm-hmm.
Can you hold it? Now I want to hear the no excuses part again.
I won't make no more excuses.
And you're going to dedicate yourself to your children. Are you ready for this kind of commitment? Then let's go. Let's go.